And welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. The Moncton High School Purple Knights are back in action here at the K Arena. It's a road game. It's a Trimble home game at the K with the Moncton High School Purple Knights as the visitors. Going into this matchup, the standings may say it's lopsided, but anything can happen here in the Eastern Conference Hockey League. The Burton East Magnon Highlanders, they took down the Riverview High Royals by a score of 8-7 just yesterday. And here we go with puck drop. Elias Sox in net for the Moncton High School Purple Knights. It's Liam Wishart in net for the Trojans. Harrison Trimble starting out with it. Sagadyev to the middle. Couldn't quite hit Rowan Cummings there as it gets into the zone. Working back there is Brennan Murray, who got a little bit of a rookie lap in warmups. He's making his debut in the season, being out with an injury from the football season. Trojans cycle it around the zone. There's Sagadyev that lets one go, and that one just missed one, not by very much. Right in front, there's Sock to cover for our first whistle of the game. Back again, it's the Trojans that get the draw. Sagadyev trying to hold this one in at the line. Caught down in there by Drovers. He looks for it. He wears number 19 for the Purple Knights here. Cleared in by number 2, Quinn Preston. Looking by behind the net, there's Woods. He absorbs a hit as he gets this one around the boards. Almost a clean breakout. There's a big reverse hit out near the far hash marks. Couldn't quite pinpoint exactly who that was. You got another big collision as these two teams, they ramp up the physicality. Here's Beeman stepping in. There's a shot off the pad. The rebound again. That one somehow stays out of the net. Trojans trying to hold this one at the line. It bounces over the stick of Shidiak and will be cleared in there by Gillis as he goes for a change. Stopped behind the net by Wishart, taken by LeBlanc. LeBlanc with seam. The saucer pass gets past Martin. And in the center they will go. Trojans, they cycle it back. Cross ice pass there from Beeman over to Legier. Legier, LeBlanc, the D-to-D. LeBlanc to the middle. That one redirected in between the feet of McFadden, and down the ice it'll go. LeBlanc regathering in the near corner. Pressure there from Webb as it gets out to center. Harris circling back on it in the middle. He sends the backhander, try to get that one over to Manderson. A bit of a bumpy rise. It does eventually get to Legier. Legier in the corner. Waiting, trying to throw this one out. It's blocked in, but the Knights are offside. Delayed offside for a while there as Campbell Harris gets a bit jumpy. And here we look at our first big chance of the game, as it was Isaac Beeman just under a minute ago that stepped into the zone and put one off the pad of Elias Sock. They were barely unable to get to rebound. The faceoff will be headed into the Moncton High zone now. Shot in by McFadden. Around the boards it'll go as there was Tyler Warner chasing on it. Back around the boards it'll go, picked up by Maltus. Maltus unable to get a stick on that one. It's lifted right at center. Trying to jab at it there was Daigle. It's cleared in. Ty Warner chasing after it. And we have a penalty here. It's going to go against Moncton High. It's a cross check. Seems to be Riddick Banfield that heads to the box. And the only lineup note for the Trojans is slotting in the affiliate tonight. Also, a DF Flyer wearing number 87, Morgan Groundwater, will make her way into the lineup. Legier in the near corner. Going across here to Betts. Captain Drew Betts working his way, and Betts to the middle. What a move. Betts to the left side. The shot, they score! And Drew Betts cancels out that power play early, just 17 seconds in. Going almost coast to coast, he grabbed it at his own blue line and stepped into the zone, making it a 1-0 game in favor of the Harrison Trimble Trojans early. Face off again, taken by Harrison Trimble. Sagadyev behind his net. Murs out to his left, turns it over. Brandon Warren will try a sharp angle shot, and that one blocked by either Curvin or Sagadyev, who were both on the ground. McEachran up the right boards, being chased by Warner. That one cleared back into the Harrison Trimble Trojan zone. Whalen going across Sagadyev, trying to one-touch pass, intercepted. Brought back in by Harris. Harris stepping in, winding his way into the corner, trying to juke out Sagadyev. Harris hit by Groundwater, out in front. There was Daigle, goes back into the corner. Braden Daigle going up to the ringette line. The pass up high. LeBlanc chasing after it. He gets hit, and that one's going to be a penalty against Harrison Trimble, as touching up there is Nealis. And it's going to be a charge, I believe, against Keelan McEachran that heads to the box. So Moncton High to the power play. There's the hit on the right side of your screen. Trojans are 1-for-1 so far. That goal coming from Drew Betts not too long ago, and quickly cleared out off the draw. I believe that was LeBlanc in the corner. So make the first goal. It's Drew Betts from Legier and Preston at 17:25. So all three of those men getting on the board early. Ty Warner circling back in his own end. Waits, comes to rest behind his net, waits for an option. Goes out, a one-touch pass right in the middle, almost turned over. Almost could have been a huge blindside hit as well, as Curvin almost ran into Betts. Right in the middle, turned over, McFadden walking in with Betts. McFadden sent it over to his right, and Drew Betts wasn't there. Betts again in the corner, waiting, throwing this one up the wall. It's Legier, unable to get to that one. The Trojans doing an incredible job on the penalty kill thus far. They haven't let the Purple Knights in the zone so far. Ty Warner comes to rest behind his net. A handoff to Harris. He goes up the wall for Daigle, back for Harris on the right side. Harris, far side, steps in, waits, fires, blocked by Sagadyev. That's his second block shot of this game. Clark, stolen. Here's Curvin, working his way in. What a nice move. Curvin in the corner, passing out in front. It's bouncing, trying to jam at it. There was Harris, and he couldn't get to the bouncing puck. There's Shudiak getting out of the zone. Owen Shudiak with John Clark. Shudiak took Clark, couldn't find it in between his feet, and that one swatted away with authority by Harris into the corner. In the middle, Sagadyev will shoot this one in on Sock. He scores! And they're going to call this one offside. There was still a Trojan player in the zone. So it almost was a nightmare shorthanded goal for Moncton High. They're going to call this one back. We'll see here if we can for sure grab at least one player in the zone. There's Sagadyev. He's going to shoot it in from the middle. And that looks to be Clark, who is most definitely still in the zone by the time that puck entered. And the coach is wanting an explanation on the Trimble bench. They think they should be up 2-0 by this point. But still only 1-0. As the Purple Knights may have caught a break. There's a quick shot, turned away by Wishart. Against the boards, Warner walking in, there's the shot. Redirected, Brandon Warner in the corner, waiting. On his backhand, turns as he sees he's got some time. Brandon Warner, down low, Curvin, Warner, and that one over his stick. Captured away by Sagadyev as he goes down the length of the ice now as the power play expires. Sagadyev steps in, tries a shot, but fanned on him. Really looking for the goal there after his just got called back. In the center, they jam at it. Here's Bro. Into the zone. Working their way, and there's a quick shot. Sock turns that one away with the pad. Around the boards it'll go. Caught in by LeBlanc. Shot in back behind the net. Shudiak unable to get to it. Woods will clear it around. This one out of the reach of the Purple Knight winger there. Whalen across for LeBlanc. LeBlanc will fire this one in. High, and this one will end up in the corner. Taken by Woods again. Woods through the zone, almost caught up. I believe that's Webb that's now skating for it with authority down to the opposite end of the ice. LeBlanc across to the blue line. Held in, cleared to Wishart. He'll play that one off in the corner. LeBlanc pressured by Webb, picked off on the wing. Working his way down is Banfield. Banfield side of the net, passing out in front for Webb. To the blue line, Murray, the shot save by Wishart. So here come Moncton High with the opportunities. Riddick Banfield has it right here at the side of the net. Almost gets that one to Webb. And up waiting at the top of the blue line is Brennan Murray, putting that one on net. Close, but no cigar so far. Curve into the line. Warner has to make a quick shot. There it is. And again, it's Wishart. He's on that one for the save at 13-32. So that one, another close one. It's right off the draw. Murray, he's able to keep this bouncing puck in. Behind the net, Curvin trying to steal. Pushed by Whalen from behind and sent into the boards. Daigle also looking. Taken by the Trojans as they go with speed. It's a handoff there to Beeman. Beeman working his way in. Dropping. No one there. And this one cleared in the center where it's chopped down by Whalen. Whalen working up. Trying to put that one on net. Taken away. Ty Warner will throw this one across. No one there. LeBlanc through center, trying to get that one against the wall. The Trojans that worked their way in. Beeman across. McFadden the shot, and he just missed the net. He's definitely going to want to have that one back. Purple Knights, they run the opposite way. Braden Daigle will make a dump before going for a change. Behind the net, regathered by Alim Sagadyev. Sagadyev waits. Will throw it over to Martin. Martin trying to find it within his feet. Attempt hit by the guy Gillis. Harris Baylor able to hold the line. Working his way in. McFadden skating. Has his stick lifted. Has it lifted again as the Knights will finally be able to take over. Here's Drover. Sliding in as number 19 for the Knights. Up for Gillis. Gillis almost exploded up into as is now rotated back by Sagadyev. He'll throw a backhand pass to the opposite wing, and there's a misplaced pass that will end up all the way down the ice. Although Sauk definitely looked to have wanted to play that. 12:01 to go. In the first period, still no shortage of action. Trojans got one early on the power play. Face off to the left of Wishart. It's a tie-up. Maltus unable to get to that one. Nealis gathers and will send that one in for Harrison Trimble. Harris working behind the net. McEachran up for Maltus. Rowan Maltus heads up the left wing. Trying to center. Caught in by Sagadyev and cleared back. Harris shot across for Warner. Ty Warner in his own corner. Waits. Along for Harris it'll go. Harris with a bit of a stretch pass. That one going up. There was Dion trying to make a move. Taken over by the Trojans in their own end. Sagadyev curling going behind the net. Fakes out Maltus with a beautiful move and sends a saucer pass that will skip over the stick of Nealis. An unfortunate bounce, but Ty Warner's back on defense from Moncton High. This will cause an icing. Face off now. It's to the left of Wishart. Won by Moncton High at the line. Shot in by Woods. Here's Beal the shot. Again, that's right into the chest of Liam Wishart. He's had a lot of shots that have gone right to the Harrison Trimble logo. Those are always the shots you want to get as a goaltender. One's not too challenging to save. Purple Knights hopefully trying to make Wishart get some action here. Here's Betts walking in. The shot, he's hooked. So that's going to be a penalty against the Purple Knights. And it's just really hard to stop Drew Betts when he gathers speed and enters the zone like right here. It's impossible to upend him without taking a penalty. And the Purple Knights do so as they now head shorthanded. Legier the shot, that one redirected wide and will find its way up into the netting. It's the Trojans that regather it off the draw. Legier off to Preston. Preston hovers the line, then goes over to Shediak. He gets poke checked, recovered by the Purple Knights, and cleared the full length down. Legier recovering. A nice one-touch pass as it gets to Preston. Preston working his way and cuts back to the middle. Trying to get a shot off. Here's a sharp angle going behind the net now. It's recovered by Shediak. Up to the blue line, Preston waits. Walks a bit to his left. Waits and holds. There's the shot. And that one, I believe, hits somewhere on the body of Elias Sock and finds its way into the corner. At the line, McFadden throwing this one across. Behind the net. Back to the hash marks on the far boards. Redirected to the middle. There's the attempted toe drag. That one didn't go. Trojans still with it as the Purple Knights try to play the box. Right outside, there was Legier with the attempted one-timer. Trojans again to the line. It's Preston. Waiting, quarterbacking. There's the shot. It's redirected off the pad of Elias Stock. That one hit a stick out somewhere in front. This will give a chance for the Purple Knights to change. Here it's Sean up here to Shediak. Shediak walks the blue line into the zone, but offside he is. Under 30 seconds still for the Harrison Trimble power play. Brennan Murray still in the box for a hook. And it looks like the face-off will come outside the zone. Or perhaps we have a timeout taken, maybe an equipment issue. And after the timeout, Moncton High is still shorthanded. At the line, Clark, Kervin chasing. Kervin and Clark, they go to the corner. Clark waits, steps up the saucer pass. That one again skips over the stick of Sagadyev. And outside the zone, these saucer passes taking very odd hops, as both teams have seen. Now even strength. Harris in the middle. Harris along the blue line, steps in, winds in. What a move. Campbell Harris, the shot. Great save by Wishart. Would have been a highlight reel goal as Clark is now upended by Gillis. It's shot back into the zone. The Trojans recover behind the net. Working with speed, there's Kervin to go behind the cage and pressure LeBlanc before he sent that to Beeman. Beeman steps in, cuts along the left, walks in the shot. Good save, Elias Sock. The rebound, they score. What a rush by Isaac Beeman to step into the zone and get the initial shot. And who was that waiting for the rebound? It looks like that was John Clark right on the doorstep to bury that. So it's going to be John Clark. The primary assist is going to go to Beeman. We'll see if they give up any secondaries. And it does not appear as such. 8-16. It's Clark from Beeman to give the Trojans a 2-0 lead. Now with just less than 8 to go in the first period. Regathered Whalen. Skating into the zone. Whalen along the left. There's the shot. And Sock will be able to make the save comfortably with that one. And that obviously not the shot that Whalen had exactly wanted on that one. Got tied up with the stick of a Purple Knight defender. As this one springs, there could be a breakaway here. Stepping in, Beal working in the forehand. Wishart closes the 5-hole. Beal again in the slot, and that one just misses the post. What great chance from Alex Beal. Here's Manderson trying to get a shot off. There's a sliding Trojan, another try. And this one will ramp up high into the corner. Legier applying a hit. Hinckley to the middle. Ty Warner unable to reach that one. So no icing walking in. Cummings trying to spin and turn and get a shot off. That one recovered by Manderson as he tries to go through Preston and ran into a wall on that one. Ty Warner in the middle. Works his way up. He'll try a slap shot. Caught down by Wishart as he'll leave it off for Preston. Preston working behind the net. Throwing that up to Legier. In the middle, diving for it was Colby Bro. And he was unable to touch up on that one. Here's Harris behind the net. After the misplaced pass, that sent it up right up through center. That was dangerous for a moment there, but the Purple Knights get it. Walking in with speed. Beal drops it off. Here he finds his way into the corner. Groundwater. Going up to the blue line. That's sprung across for McEachran. McEachran steps in. He'll try a shot. Denied by Saucon. The rebound comes up loose in the high slot. Another try from LeBlanc at the blue line. And that one will miss and wrap around the boards. Brandon Warner. He'll send that one back into his own zone, trying to wrap it around and get it to the opposite side. There's a shot towards the net. The rebound. Morgan Groundwater looking at it. And she couldn't quite bury it. Although a very close chance, too. Preston now in a foot race. Ethan Curvin wins it. Curvin into the zone. Now getting tackled by him and sent to the ground. And that will be a Purple Knights power play once the Trojans touch up. Great rush by Ethan Curvin, showing off his speed and drawing a penalty to come with it. 6-on-5 for the moment as the Purple Knights have an empty net on the delayed penalty. Curvin, one-touch pass in the middle. Purple Knights bring it up here. It's Gillis hitting the brakes. Gets hit by McEachran. It's the drop-off for Drover. Drover into the zone. Sent to Daigle at the backhand of the middle. Touched up by LeBlanc. And we're finally going to get the call here. As it's going to be roughing against the Trojans. Right there on Curvin. With 5:39, the Purple Knights off to a 2-minute power play. So make it Quinn Preston for roughing as the Purple Knights try to cycle it around. Warner, the shot from the blue line, and Wishart makes the save on that one. Again, that one's right on his chest. It appeared as Warner was trying to look for deflection on that one, but he gets it at the blue line, takes his time, and makes no mistake getting that one to the net. Here the Knights have it again. Harris, cross Warner, backdoor Daigle. He tries a shot, and that one's off the stick of Wishart. A good chance for Daigle there. McFadden chasing on it, kept in by Warner, and then cleared the length of the ice. Sock regathers. They're on the boards. Daigle looking for it. Warner in behind him for support. Here's Harris. Stepping his way in, dropped off Gillis. He almost gets blown up. This one bounces almost right in front of the net. Curvin trying to evade Legier behind the net. They're both in a battle. Daigle trying to find that in his feet. Legier with the puck will find that and clear it down at the length of the ice. So this gives an opportunity for the Trojans to make some changes. Ty Warner working his way out from his corner. Sent to the middle. Here's Curvin with his speed walking in. Gets past Martin. Curvin working in. There's the shot. And he had been taken down. It looks like he had wanted a call for a hook, but didn't get it. Cleared in. Sawyer Martin waiting, retreating in his corner. His clear blocked by Curvin. Curvin causing tons of disruption on the forecheck. He has been an X factor for Moncton High so far. And here's his chance from earlier, getting around Martin. Got the shot off. Face off to the left of Wishart. One by Moncton High at the line. It's barely kept in. This one skips over the stick of Beal in the corner. LeBlanc after it. This one gets by Harris all the way down the ice. It's Shudiak chasing after it for Harrison Trimble. Ty Warner in the corner, hit by Shudiak. It's Shudiak that takes over. Shudiak turning around. Here's Clark with the puck, trying a shot. Behind the net it'll go. Warner waiting, sent across for Harris. Harris up the wall, evades the hit check from John Clark, but this one will slide outside the zone. Manderson across for Ty Warner. Ty Warner just outside the zone. Penalty now expired for Moncton High, as we're going to get a whistle here for an offside. .335 left in the first period. This is Moncton High School boys hockey on Moncton High Sports. It's bringing the lane from the K Arena for the Moncton High Purple Knights. They play a road game in their home arena, as it's Sagadyev in his own end. Throwing that one up to Cummings, across for Bro. Bro will shoot that one in behind the net. Chasing after there was Woods and Hinckley. It was Woods that put his back hard up against the boards. At the line, Sagadyev waits, top of the circle, steps in with shoots and scores! Alim Sagadyev getting his goal that was called off earlier as he works his way into the zone and makes no mistake going to the top shelf. Just slid his way to the middle, had time and space. He used it, especially with traffic in front. And to the top shelf it went, giving the Trojans a 3-0 lead, getting down to the final stages of the first period. Morgan Groundwater in with the backhand, trying to go back door, they score! And is that one going to be credited to Groundwater? It might just be. And it's Morgan Groundwater that's going to get the 4th goal for the Harrison Trimble Trojans, being called up from U15 AAA. Playing with the Dieppe Flyers, trying to pass it back door. It looks like it went off defenseman Campbell Harrison into the net. So Morgan Groundwater gets on the board for the Trojans. And the last goal at 3:07, it was Sagadyev from Whalen and Hinckley. We'll see the assist on this goal, where it's shot in by Sagadyev. Regathered in the corner. Shot up. Moved into some open ice by Daigle. It looks like that goal at 2:57. It's Groundwater from Nealis. So only getting 1 assist on that. Moving back, Sagadyev, 2.5 to go. Shooting that one up through center. It's redirected off the stick of Brandon Warner behind the net. Campbell Harris waits with it as he goes across in for Curvin. Curvin on the far boards across. Brandon Warner stepping in on Preston. His shot was blocked. Warner going behind the net. Daigle trying to regather in the corner. Sustains possession up top. Waiting Harris. The shot just misses wide. Definitely wanted that one. Would have been huge for the Purple Knights. They're trying to get back into this game. Here's Groundwater. Hit against the boards by Warner. It's Brandon Warner that gets reversed. Preston moving up for Harrison Trimble. Angled out against the boards. He gets possession. There's the shot. Sock with the save, and this one ends up out of play. And frustration coming from the Moncton High bench already, as it's 4-0. Harrison Trimble in a game where they definitely have been outplayed to start in the first period. They hope to get one late one here. Try to get some momentum going into period 2 as it's pinned deep in the Moncton High corner. Brought up by the Trojans. The attempted pass out in front that went off the feet of Ty Warner. McFadden going behind the net. Martin looking to pounce on that one in front. Now trying to find it in the corner. It's Banfield. Touches that one up. Here's Gillis working his way into the zone. He'll dump that one off the pad of Wishart and redirect it into the corner. Preston around the boards. Legier capturing that one. Far boards will fire that one up and hits right perfectly the tape of Martin as he walks in, but is angled out and gets hit hard against the boards. Preston looking for it at the blue line. They go crashing up against the boards. Sharp angle shot as Gillis now chases behind the net. Up top, captured, blue line. Legier, the shot redirected on the goal line. They score. And it's the Trojans that'll get what could be the last second goal. It's Carson Legier that shoots this one up from the line, and that goes redirecting off a couple bodies and slides into the net. So the Trojans make it 5-0 now, as there's less than a minute left to go in the first. Trojans captured in the middle, lifted up, trying to knock that down at the blue line. I believe it was Trover trying to get a stick on that one. Here's Shediak going behind. Gets a Moncton High man down. There's a backhand right in front. They jam at it, loose in the blue paint. Good chances. Another try for the blue line. And Sock is there to make the save, and we got some rough stuff after the whistle here. It's Riddick Banfield looking to get the chirping game going at the end of the first. And here's the close chance for Harrison Trimble. And right in the corner, there's a big collision and a quick whistle. So we're going to try that face-off again. It goes to the left of Elias Sock. And won by Moncton High. It's Gillis trying to escape his zone. Going against Whalen against the boards. It's Whalen that's taken down. Here walking in sharp angle, the shot. And Wishart just got to that one as the buzzer will hit 0. That's Ethan Curvin with another great opportunity. But still none has gone in. Look for him to get on the board later, as we show what happened in the last seconds with the initial rush from Ryan Gillis. Again, Curvin's been on it all night. But we'll see if he can get one on the board here for Moncton High. It's the end of the first period, 5-0 in favor of the Harrison Trimble Trojans. It's Moncton High School boys hockey, live on Moncton High Sports. Braden Lane, K Arena. The pass up high, LeBlanc chasing after it. He gets hit, and that one's Clark. Stolen. Here's Curvin working his way, and what a nice move. Curvin in the corner, passing out in front. It's bouncing, trying to jam at it there. Find it in between his feet, and that one's swatted away with authority by Harrison in the corner. In the middle, Sagadyev will shoot this one in on Sock. He scored! But still only 1-0. The Purple Knights may have caught a break. There's a quick shot. Turn picked off on the wing. Working his way down is Banfield. Banfield side of the net, passing out in front for Webb. To the blue line, Murray, the shot, save by Wishart. At the top of the blue line is Brennan Murray, putting that one on net. Close, but no cigar so far. Curve into the line. Warner has to make a quick shot. There it is. And again, for center, trying to get that one against the wall. Trojans that work their way in. Beeman across, McFadden in the shot, and he just missed. Face off now. It's to the left of Wishart. One by Moncton high at the line. Shot in by Woods. Here's Beal the shot. Again, right. Purple Knights hopefully try to make Wishart get some action here. Betts walking in the shot. He's the blue line. Preston waits. Walks a bit to his left. Waits and holds. There's the shot. And now Trojans again to the line. It's Preston. Waiting quarterbacking. There's the shot. It's redirected. On the blue line, steps in, winds in, what a move, Campbell Harris, the shot, great net. Working with speed there, Curvin to go behind the cage and pressure the ball before he sent that to Beeman. Beeman steps in, cuts him on the left, walks in the shot, good save. Ball before he sent that to Beeman. Beeman steps in, cuts him on the left, walks in the shot, good save. Elias Sock the rebound, they score. Whalen skating into the zone, Whalen along the left, there's the shot. As this one springs, there could be a breakaway here. Stepping in, Beal working in the forehand. Going up to the blue line, then sprung across for McEachran. McEachran steps in, he'll try a shot. Denied by Sock, and the rebound comes. Ethan Curvin wins it. Curvin into the zone. Now getting tackled by him and sent to the ground. So making Quinn Preston for roughing. As the Purple Knights try to cycle it around. Warner, the shot from the blue line. And Wishart, the Knights have it again. Harris, cross Warner, backdoor Daigle. He tries a shot, and that one's off the stick of the middle. Here's Curvin with his speed, walking in, gets past Martin. Curvin working in, there's the shot. And he had been taken down hard up against the boards. At the line, Sagadyev waits, top of the circle, steps in with shoots and scores. Morgan Groundwater in the backhand, trying to go backdoor, they score. And is that one going to be credited to Trimble? Angled out against the boards. Against possession, there's the shot. Sock with the save, and this one ends up out of play. Gillis now chases behind the net. Up top. Patrick, blue line. Lashia the shot redirected on the goal line. They score. Here's Shiniak going behind. Gets the Moncton high man down to the backhand right in front. They jam at it, loose in the blue paint. And one by Moncton high. It's Gillis trying to escape his zone. Whalen against the boards. As Whalen's taken down. Here walking in sharp angle, the shot. And Wishart. As these two teams, they ramp up the physicality. Here's Beeman stepping in. There's a shot off the pad. The rebound again. Near corner. Going across here to Betts. Captain Drew Betts working his way, and Betts to the middle. What a move. Betts to the left side. The shot, they score. Brandon Daigle going up to the ringette line. The pass up high. LeBlanc chasing after it. He gets hit, and that one's Clark. Stolen. Here's Curvin working his way, and what a nice move. Curvin in the corner, passing out in front. It's bouncing, trying to jam at it there. Find it in between his feet, and that one's swatted away with authority by Harrison in the corner. In the middle, Sagadyev will shoot this one in on Sock. He scores! But still only 1-0. Purple Knights may have caught a break. There's a quick shot. Turn picked off on the wing. Working his way down is Banfield. Banfield side of the net, passing out in front for Webb. To the blue line, Murray, the shot, saved by Wishart. At the top of the blue line is Brennan Murray, putting that one on net. Close, but no cigar so far. Curvin to the line. Warner has to take a quick shot. There it is. And again, center trying to get that one against the wall. Trojans over to him. Beeman across, McFadden the shot, and he just missed. Face off now to the left of Wishart. One by Moncton high at the line. Shot in by Woods. the shot. Again, that's right. Purple Knights hopefully gonna try to make Wishart get some action. Here's Betts walking in the shot. He's to the blue line. Preston waits, walks a bit to his left, waits and holds. There's the shot, and now Trojans again to the line. It's Preston waiting, quarterbacking. There's the shot. It's redirected. Now even strength. Harris in the middle. Harris along the blue line, steps in, winds in. What a move! Campbell Harris, the shot. Great. And then working with speed. There's Curvin to go behind the cage and pressure the ball before he sends that to Beeman. Beeman steps in, cuts along the left, walks in the shot. Good save. Ball before he sent that to Beeman. Beeman steps in, cuts along the left, walks in the shot. Good save. Elias Sock the rebound. They score. Whalen heading into the zone. Whalen along the left. There's the shot. And Sock will be able to tie it up with the stick of a Purple Knight defender. As this one springs, there could be a breakaway here. Stepping in, Beal working in the forehand. Going up to the blue line, sprung across from McEachran. McEachran steps in, he'll try a shot. Denied by Sock, and the rebound comes. Ethan Curvin wins it. Curvin into the zone. Now getting tackled by him and sent to the ground. Making the win, Preston for roughing. As the Purple Knights try to cycle it around more to the shot on the blue line. And Wishart making the Knights have it again. Harris, cross Warner, backdoor Daigle. He tries a shot, and that one's off the stick of middle. Here's Curvin with his speed walking in, gets past Martin. Curvin working in, there's the shot. And he had been taken down hard up against the boards. At the line, Sagadyev waits, top of the circle, steps in with shoots and scores. Morgan Groundwater in the backhand, trying to go back door, they score. And is that one going to be credited to Trimble, angled out against the boards. He gets possession, there's the shot. Sock with the save, and this one ends up out of play. Gillis now chased behind the net, up top. Captured, blue line. Lashir, the shot redirected on the goal line, they score. Here's Shadiak going behind. It's a Moncton high man down, there's a backhand right in front. They jam at it, loose in the blue paint. And won by Moncton high. It's Gillis trying to escape his zone. Whalen gets the boards. Whalen taken down. Here walking in, sharp angle, the shot. And Wishart. Betts. Captain Drew Betts working his way, and Betts to the middle. What a move. Betts to the left side. The shot, they score. And we have period 2 underway. There was a quick shot towards the net. That one didn't go. As the Trojans have a commanding 5-0 lead, the Purple Knights have got to find a way to try and claw their way back into this one. The first period, just utter domination by the team in maroon. But it's the Knights that look to come back in this one, as here's Harris starting the rush. He gets by Shiniak. Harris trying to walk in. That one, his pocket's picked. Back for Murray. Murray skating. Passing that one in. It's flipped in by Brandon Warner. Shot back in the Moncton high end. Here's Kervin hitting the brakes. Along the boards. Caught down. Barely kept in the zone by Clark. Back with it is Legier. Shooting that one up. It's redirected in by Clark. Harris moving across. Poked up by Gillis. The Trojans work their way through. Deflected back onto Harris. His pass misses Gillis, but it's on to Kervin, and he'll dump it in. The Knights resetting. Trojans walk in. Here's Shiniak, the shot. And that one missed the net, but not by much, as Avery now goes falling on the ground. It's happened at that spot of the ice about 2 times now. Easton Woods regathering for Moncton High. Working his way in. The cross ice pass didn't go. Gillis the attempted clear. Drover had found it in the corner there for a minute. Avery applying a hit. Gillis stops. He's hit by Legier, and the stick of Legier goes flying up into the high glass. Trojans recover in their own end. It was almost taken by Gillis. Walking back in as Clark makes a move around Woods. Can't keep it as he was bodied off. Warner into the corner. McFadden, only one there. Ty Warner, McFadden going after it now with a stick battle. Here's Sagadia from the blue line, and the shot is saved there by Elias Sock from far. And that one a loose puck. Sagadia walking in from the line. They'll send a blast to the net. But fortunately for Elias Sock, he's in the perfect position as Harris sends that one to the zone. Blocked off the back of the leg of LeBlanc. Shot across, that one past Webb. Regathered back by Trimble. Thrown across to the far boards. Will be shot in. Looks like it's delayed icing, and it will go for icing at 17:40 of the second period. Latest goal in this game, if you're just tuning in, came at 46 seconds left of the first period. Beeman potted one in with the help from McFadden and Legier. Purple Knights in the offensive corner. It's brought up just to the blue line. Hovers the line, but taken back by Beal. His shot, he fanned on it. And unfortunately for that one looked to have been developing into a good scoring opportunity. Shot out by LeBlanc. Skating back for it. Parker LeBlanc sends it in. Carson LeBlanc around the boards. Brought up by the Trojans. That pass picked off by Harris. Harris walking the line. Trying to skate in, but he's just offside. So the faceoff will come outside the Harrison Trimble zone. The face-off just outside the offensive zone. That was a risky pass there by Ty Warner, but it does get to Brennan Murray, pressured by Groundwater. His shot up, redirected, knocked down, juggled back up, kicked by Brennan Murray. On the far board, Murray almost hit big there by McEachran as he made him come to a halt. Daigle having to skate back for Moncton High. Daigle around the boards, out of the reach of Nillis. Ty Warner. A nice cut to the middle. Has some room. He's going to take it. Ty Warner moving to the offensive zone. He'll try a shot as soon as he gets in. And that one going right through the uprights above the net. Loose puck across on the opposite wing. Harris chopping at it. It's back for the Trojan defense. Working his way down with Sayadiev. It's moved across the boards. Harris, he'll bank it across. That one gets by Nealis and back onto Preston. Preston throwing that one up through neutral ice. McEachern leaving that one off to the middle for Groundwater. Groundwater behind the net. Oh, almost taken up by Nealis. Brandon Warner now trying to go against the boards. He'll grab it now. It's behind him. Has to turn and spin and try to get to Daigle, and he's dumped into the boards. And that one's going to be called, and Braden Daigle now lies on the ice right next to the Moncton High bench. Braden Daigle looking at a lot of discomfort. And has still yet to move. It looks like it's going to be assistant coach Greg Stoyles that comes on the ice to check up on his forward. So we'll have a pause here at the K. As Braden Daigle still slow to get up. He's rolled over. And now he will get to his feet, but slowly. And luckily, he's right next to his bench, as Ethan Kervin will help him and guide him into the bench. As the officials discuss about it, we'll have another look. And it looks like that'll be a 5-minute for Quinn Preston. So the Purple Knights off to a 5-minute power play. And Harrison Trimble fans voicing their displeasure. So they're going to give Preston a 5 for boarding at 15:42. So as of right now, still on a little break. 5-minute power play for Moncton High. As long as nothing changes, the Knights only have 4 players on the ice. Looks like Ty Warner on the bench will now step on. So it will be a 5-minute, the major power play for Moncton High, as they need to use this opportunity with all they can to try to get at least a goal on the board here, as the Trojans head in shorthanded. McFadden pressured by Ty Warner. McFadden side of the net, now behind the net, and he wanted a call for a hold or a hook and didn't get it. Here's Harris starting out, over to Gillis now. Gillis, he's rubbed out against the boards. McFadden now fighting him in the corner. There's a stick that went flying right out in front. It hovers, and down the ice it'll be sent. And still, the Trojan parents still on about that penalty call, as Kervin now skates up to the neutral zone, into the offensive zone. Kervin protects the puck, goes behind the net, and that one is going to be a penalty against Harrison Trimble. This one looks to be a 5-on-3 coming up for Moncton High for 2 full minutes. So it's a 5-on-3 for a full 2 minutes for the Knights. An incredible chance to at least get their icebreaker in this one. timeout done. .45 to go in the second. Carson Legier to the box for a hook right out in front. Sent right in front of the slot, and that one barely missed. Gillis to the line. Harris waits, takes his time, goes across. One-timer from Ty Warner that just missed wide. Harris back at the blue line. Waits, walks in. Warner fakes his 1T. Goes back to Harris. Harris lets one go, and Wishart makes the save. The rebound on to Ty Warner. Back up to the line. Gillis, he walks the blue. Across for Ty Warner. Back for Harris, the one-touch pass. Back for Warner, the one-timer. And that one just elevated over the net. Curvin stopping, pinned in the corner. Not what you want to do on a 5-on-3. Curvin, still pinned. Harris waits at the blue line. They dig for it. It's still jammed up in there. They kill plenty of time as Manderson trying to curl. And it looks like the Trojans will get a chance to flip this one all the way down the length of the ice. Sock will leave that one off for Harris. Harris makes his way through the zone. Campbell Harris working up with speed, hits the brakes. Tried to send it to the middle, that one poked away. Ty Warner now needs to get back on defense. Working in, could be a breakaway, and there's a trip, and the Trojan goes right into the net. That's Shudiak that hits the post. And it's a hold against Ty Warner. So it's now a 4-on-3 for 42 seconds. So it's a 4-on-3 Moncton High power play. And the shot, they score right off the draw. Make it a shorthanded goal for Owen Shudiak, the man who drew the penalty. Sends one in right after the face-off and just wins it back to himself, lets one go. And what a quick shot from Owen Shudiak to give Harrison Trimble now an extended 6-goal lead. As he gets it here, will backhand it down. Brandon Warner behind the net. Skates up through center. Brandon Warner still with it. Cutting across. Warner into his backhand. And that one redirected above the net by either a defender or Wishart in the net. So now we're going to have 4-on-4 action now, as the Moncton High power play comes to an end. And then we'll have a very brief Moncton High power play. There's the shot from Harris. That one just missed the net. And will wrap around the boards and go all the way down the length of the ice. So an unfortunate turn of events for Moncton High as they had themselves a 5-on-3. And they take a penalty of their own and get burned with a shorty. McFadden up for Trimble, working in. McFadden, nice move to his backhand. Out in front of the slot, they score. Make it the captain, Drew Betts, scoring on the 4-on-4. To now make it a touchdown for Harrison Trimble. The poke check from Elias Sock ends up right on the tape of Drew Betts. And that's a man you don't want to have left open in the high slot. Let's make that one Betts from McFadden at 12:01. The last one before that, it was Owen Shudiak unassisted right off the draw. As this 4-on-4 still continues. And we'll have a Moncton High power play coming up to finish off. It'll be a very brief Moncton High power play. That one's still in the 5 minutes to Quinn Preston as Harris enters the zone offside. And the ref is going to go over to Harris. Looks like he may have shot the puck after the whistle. No penalty, but just a warning rather. Easton Woods with it for Moncton High at the blue line. Left off for Ty Warner. Ty Warner skating through. Wrapping that around the boards. Caught in by Avery, trying to go up over to Drover, and there's another big collision out in the corner. It's going to send Moncton out to another power play. There's a one-timer attempt from Drover that didn't get on net. That one flipped high, touched up. So it's 6 seconds left on the original 5-minute penalty. Legier's going to go back to the box. Maybe a hard angle to see, but that's a hit a bit from behind. And here we go as the face-off, quick 5-on-3. There's a shot. There's the save. So now just a 5-on-4 now for Moncton High. Socks out of his net. Beeman going to chase after that in the corner. Pressure there from Woods. Ty Warner in there as well. Warner, Woods, and Beeman still all looking for it. Beeman still somehow managing to keep that puck pinned before it comes loose over to Curvin on the far wing. Curvin the pass, try to get that over to Avery, who again slipped and fell. He's going to go to the bench, definitely looking at his blade. Shudiak poked. Sagadyev down in the corner. Up the boards, Warner trying to get that across. Still in, Gillis sent to the middle. Shot by Sagadyev, caught down by Elias Salk. Easton Woods shot up through center. Shot back from the neutral zone. Shudiak stepping in. Side. Trying to pass that one out in front. That one hit off the side. And then another try. This one goes to the high slot. Picked and taken away by Gillis as he goes on to Beeman. And then gives a little shove over there to LeBlanc. Woods trying a toe drag. That one got caught up in a pair of skates. Webb waiting. Will send that one across inside the line. Warner passing his way in. Curving in the corner. Going on with Beeman, LeBlanc there as well. Webb to the line. Ty Warner waiting, going across. Can't quite hit Woods. He's going to try a shot. That one missed wide, but had some power behind it. Moncton High power play. Still not too much left on it. Curvin going down in the corner, waiting. Curvin has some room behind the net. Hits the brakes, waits, back ends. That one looking for it. There's Gillis trying to jam away at it. And that one was blocked. Ty Warner from the line. The shot, they score! And they do capitalize on the power play. It looked like it had been deflected somewhere along the way. And that might be Julian Webb that gets credit with the redirection out in front. So Moncton High gets their first goal of the game at 8:49 of the second. And we'll see the official scoring. It looked to have been Julian Webb who had gone the stick on that. Parker LeBlanc for Moncton High. Tried to go up the wing, back for it. Tried to get that to Dion. It's taken by Bro. Bro, the drop pass on the line. There's the shot. And Salk will be able to get his arm in the way of that. So it will be Julian Webb with the goal. The assist to Ty Warner at 8:59. There's the quick save from Salk. So Julian Webb It's Moncton High on the board. To at least break up the shutout of Wishart in the net, and that is only Webb's third of the year. 3 points on the year, 2 goals and 1 assist, make that his third goal. Brandon Warner with it, playing it along the wall. He reverses his man down on the ground, delayed offside. That was Ryder Hinckley being sat down by Warner. Brandon Warner behind the net. Going up the wall now on the opposite side. Warner trying to shove it back in. Hinckley, Dion there, stumbling to a knee. Trojans work their way up. Pass in the middle was deflected. It'll roll just to the right of the net of Sauk. Ethan Manderson recovers for Moncton High. Works through the center. Manderson continuing with it. Working along the left. Manderson still on the boards. He's checked and sent down there by LeBlanc. Trojans now, they come with a burst of speed the opposite way. Webb unable to catch that one. Bouncing puck. McEachran the shot just over the net. At the line, held in. McEachran tried to reach that one, was just unable to get to that one. There's another try, redirected attempt by McEachran out in front. He's all over the puck this shift. Ty Warner waiting at the goal line. There's McEachran behind the net, gets reversed by Ty Warner. It is now it's Sagadev back on the defense. Shot in, this looks like a delayed icing. Or they will call it off last second. Ty Warner behind the net. Waiting up against the wall. Beal to the middle. Picking it up, there's Ty Warner. Warner tried to get that one across to Drover. This one's rammed up along the boards. Move back. Murray. Ty Warner throwing that one across some open ice, and that one picked off by LeBlanc. Couldn't go in the zone due to a delayed offside, but walking in, Drover all alone, the breakaway. Drover the shot, scores! Tatum Drover on the breakaway, found his way all alone after tipping a pass. And Drover will get Moncton High's second goal unanswered, making no mistake in burying it under the blocker side of Wishart. And make that Tatum Drover's third of the year. Has been one of, if not Moncton High's best affiliates so far, playing U15 AA for the Eagles of Dieppe. Has come up huge for the Purple Knights so far. There's Beeman and a Purple Knight tangled behind the net. Up at the line, there's the shot turned away by the pad of Elias Sauk. In the corner, Whalen, Beeman, Murray, all there. Avery. Beeman trying to wrap that one around and almost caught Sauk. Napping on that one, Drover dropping it off. Gillis skating into the zone, button hooking. Looking for an option. Gillis getting roughed off the puck in the corner. Now it's Avery going down. Regathers McFadden, who's hit by Gillis. They still battle for it right in the corner. Gillis coming up top, trying to get a shot off. He was taken down. The rebound still in the blue paint, and they'll get a whistle finally. So multiple chances for Moncton High. Finally getting some momentum here. 2 unanswered. At the line, Harris the shot, turned away by Wishart. Harris will get his own rebound up at the line. Flipped that one in, it was a high one. Trojans bring this one out. Betts skating into the zone, a nice move. Betts all alone, going to the forehand and tucks it just to the side of the net. And what a move that would have been from the captain, number 16, who had suffered an injury at the start of the year, but has come back firing on all cylinders for the Harrison Trimble Trojans, including a goal earlier today or 2 goals rather, right out in front of the slot. Brandon Warner doing a good job to defend on Drew Betts on that one. Betts out in front, trying to grab it on his backhand. There's the shot, turned away by the pad of Elias Sock. And there's a big hit on Ethan Curran by Owen Shudniak. As Curran that got that one way high in the air. Betts trying to stick lift Harris. He will. To the middle, poke check, Harris. Skating up, taken away. Working into Sagadyev, hits the brakes, goes out for Brandon Warner. Warner tried to pass that one up to Maltis. That one had gone in behind him. LeBlanc working his way behind the net. Waiting, shooting that one up. Cummings backhanded that one down into the zone. Woods around the boards, back around Ty Warner. Up for Beal. Beal sends that one right up through center. Here's Curvin recepting the pass perfectly, but runs into some trouble with Whalen. Curvin gets the puck right in front, tried to get a backhand off. Couldn't. Hinkley will throw that one up. It's off the board. Sock leaves it behind for Ty Warner. Ty Warner, the backhander through center, perfectly onto the tape of Beal. Beal skating in, trying to make a nice dangle, but was pushed off and shoved into the corner. Right up high, Manderson, the backhander scores! And again, that one may have gone off a body. The Knights have now gone 3 unanswered. Let's see who's first. In the wave by, it is Ethan Manderson. So that's Manderson's 10th of the year. He gets double digits. So the Knights slowly but surely getting their way back into this hockey game. It started out 7-0 Trimble, but the Knights have gone the last 3 straight. Sagadyev into the zone. That one to the slot. And Groundwater couldn't quite get a stick on that one. At the line, Trover gets outbeat by Sagadyev. Sagadyev at the line. There's the shot, and it's gloved down by Elias Sock. He could see that one through a bit of traffic. But here's Sagadyev's shot. Get a good look at it as it's right into the glove of Elias Sock. Murray trying to go up the wall. Taken behind the net. Avery dropping that one off. Brennan Murray. Waiting. He'll hit the brakes. Goal on the wall right in the middle. Shot in. Glove down by Murray. Less than 2.5 to go in period 2. This one shot up. Jackson Avery can't quite touch up on that one. And it's down the ice and will be called icing against the Purple Knights. Trojans at the line, a quick shot. Sonka gloved that one down, and it looked like, but that one dropped right in front of him. Another try, that one blocked by Avery. Working his way around McFadden, the one-timer attempt backdoor. And there's Gillis with a bit of a hit, so Murray will gather that one and bring it up the zone. Murray clearing this one in. On LeBlanc. Rimmed around. Stopped it at the line. The Trojans in their own end, trying to regroup. This one shot out, will bank off through center. Easton Woods behind the net for Moncton High, shooting that one up through center. No one there. Legier, the backhand, that one into the zone. It's Webb that brings it out for Moncton High. Webb, the shot. There's a good blocker save there by Wishart. Again, this one's rimmed along the glass. It was McFadden trying to bring it in. Webb throwing that one across. Beeman regathers right out in front. Luckily taken away by Harris as he now builds up some steam. Harris works in, trying to cut around. He's stopped. Manderson waiting for support, but was unable to get it. And this one, what great speed. Beeman in all alone. The shot, he's turned away by Sock. His defense runs into him. It's still loose in the high slot. Jamming away at it. There's McFadden, and he couldn't quite stuff it home. At the line, here's a drive that just misses the net. McFadden's taken down by LeBlanc in front, and LeBlanc is taken down by McFadden, and that's going to be a call. So Moncton High will head back to the power play. Ethan Manderson brings it in for Moncton High to the side of the net. The shot, Wishart turns that one away. So Moncton High back to the power play. Look right out in front of the net where LeBlanc takes down McFadden. McFadden gets up, gives LeBlanc a slash to the leg. So if the Purple Knights don't score, they will head into the third period on the man advantage. And the official is now going to talk at the Harrison Trimble bench. So McFadden at 36 seconds, he's off for a trip. And the last two goals by the Knights, Ethan Manderson and Tatum Drover, they are both unassisted. Off the draw, right in the middle, backdoor the pass, jamming away at it there, I believe was Ryan Gillis. Couldn't quite get that one to go. Initial clear blocked by Harris, could be a break. Walking in shorthanded, the captain, Drew Betts, and that one swept away. What a great back check. Tatum Drover, and out of nowhere, right out in front, Betts trying to hammer it home. Again, Tatum Drover on defense, making two great plays to shut down the captain. Flipped along the wall, not much time left. Working in their way back into the zone. Betts going behind the net, trying to wrap around as the buzzer hits zero. So the Purple Knights will head into the third period on the man advantage. They've now made a hockey game out of this one, 7-3 in favor of Harrison Trimble after the second. Braden Elaine from Moncton High Sports at the K Arena for the matchup. It's the Harrison Trimble Trojans and the Moncton High Purple Knights. Shot off the pad, the rebound again. Near corner. Going across here to Betts. Captain Drew Betts working his way, and Betts to the middle. What a move. Betts to the left side. The shot, they score. Reed Daigle going into the ringette line. The pass up high. LeBlanc chasing after it. He gets hit, and that one's Clark. Stolen. Here's Curvin working his way, and what a nice move. Curvin in the corner, passing out in front. It's bouncing. Trying to jam at it there. Find it in between his feet. And that one's swatted away with authority by Harrison in the corner. In the middle, Sagadyev will shoot this one in on Saki. Score! But still only 1-0. The Purple Knights may have caught a break. There's a quick shot. Hurt kicked off on the wing. Working his way down is Banfield. Banfield side of the net, passing out in front for Webb. To the blue line, Murray. The shot saved by Wishart. At the top of the blue line is Brennan Murray putting that one on net. Close, but no cigar so far. Curvin to the line. Warner has to make a quick shot. There it is. And again, for center, trying to get that one against the wall. Trojans that work their way in. Beeman across McFadden, the shot, and he just missed. Face off now. It's to the left of Wishart. One by Moncton High at the line. Shot in by Woods. Here's Beal, the shot. Again, it's right. Purple Knights hopefully walking in the shot. He's the blue line. Preston waits. shot. And now Trojans again to the line. Preston gaining quarterbacking. There's a shot. It's redirected. Even strength. Harris in the middle. Harris along the blue line. Steps in. Winds in. What a move. Campbell Harris to Sean. Great. Then working with speed. There's Curvin to go behind the cage and pressure LeBlanc before he sent that to Beeman. Beeman steps in. Cuts him on the left. Walks in the shot. Good save. Before he sent that to Beeman. Beeman steps in, cuts along the left, walks in the shot. Good save. Elias Sock the rebound. They score. Whalen skating into the zone. Whalen along the left. There's the shot. And Sock will be able to line up the 6-bay Purple Knight defender. As this one springs, there could be a breakaway here. Stepping in, Beal working in the forehand. Going up to the blue line. Sprung across for McEachran. McEachran steps in. He'll try a shot. Denied by Sock, and the rebound comes. Ethan Curvin wins it. Curvin into the zone. Now getting tackled by him and sent to the ground. So make it Quinn Preston for roughing. As the Purple Knights try to cycle it around. Warner, the shot from the blue line. And Wishart make the Knights have it again. Harris. Cross Warner, backdoor Daigle. He tries a shot, and that one's off the stick of middle. Here's Curvin with his speed walking in, gets past Martin. Curvin working in, there's the shot. And he has been taken down, hard up against the boards. At the line, Sagadyev waits, top of the circle, steps in with shoots and scores. Morgan Groundwater in the backhand, trying to go backdoor, they score. And as that one can be credited to Trimble, hanging out against the board. He gets possession, there's the shot. Sock with the save, and this one ends up out of play. Gillis now chases behind the net, up top. Captured, blue line. Bashir the shot, redirected on the goal line, they score. Here's Shediak going behind. Gets a Moncton high man down, there's a backhand right in front. They jam at it, loose in the blue paint. And one by Moncton high. It's Gillis trying to escape his zone. Sharp angle, the shot, and Wishart. And here we are to start our third period. Moncton High. They started on the man advantage. They have just over a minute left on that now. Carrying over from the Cole McFadden tripping call that had happened in the last 30 seconds of the second period. It's Ty Warner throwing that one across for Harris. Harris regathers that one after a bit of a bobble. Harris in the zone, working behind the net, waiting, trying to jam that one out in front. Steered away by Whalen. This one goes up, hits the netting. And they will call this one. Face off to Wishart's white. Curvin, Harris, Ty Warner waiting in and firing. The save, the rebound, squeaks just loose. And it's fired all the way down the length of the ice. Ty Warner leaving this one in behind the net. He'll bring it up now. Warner dropping right at the line. Curvin shooting this one in. LeBlanc down in the corner off the boards. That one right through the wickets of Tyler Warner and all the way down the length of the ice. Beeman, first one on it. Isaac Beeman, shorthanded into the zone. This penalty about to end for Moncton High. So 5-on-5 now. Harris will try a shot. That's an easy blocker save by Wishart. Curvin in the corner, dropping that one off behind the net. Daigle looking out in front. Up, Curvin turning and spinning. And that one just hovers over to the blue crease. Gillis across the boards. Chasing up there is Martin. Martin escaping the zone with it. Sawyer Martin, left side, working in. There's the shot. Turned away by Elias Sock with the glove. Minutes still to go. There was a hit against Gillis on the boards. Trojans work their way right at their blue line. Morgan Groundwater. Poke checked. It's now back for Sagadyev. Chased on by Manderson. Sagadyev around the net. Manderson watching along the boards. It's back to the Moncton High blue line. Beal trying to get at it. It's in the zone, but poked away by Whalen. And Beal will get a handle on that one for a second. It's down into the corner. Sagadyev up against the wall. Poked in. Brandon Warner looking after it. Easton Woods back in his own end. Pivots, throws it against the wall. Manderson skating in on Sagadyev. Ethan Manderson waiting. He's shoved hard into the board, stays on his feet. Here's Manderson at the goal line, working his way in front. Morgan Groundwater coming in from up high to upend that one. Webb trying to hold this one in the zone. He will with a nice defensive play. Webb trying to look for Manderson out in front, and that one just out of his reach after a deflection. Sagadyev against the boards. Off the glass, trying to get that one over to Nealis. It's back for Woods along the boards now. It's brought up by the Moncton High defense. Brandon Warner trying to get through to that one. Warner waiting, trying to cut up to the zone. There's a drop pass right out in front. The shot just goes over the net, and it's in. An unfortunate bounce for Moncton High as that one was redirected up in the air and dropped right in behind Elias Sock, and it looked like it had gone over. Looks like it's Will Nealis. Now 8-3 in favor of Moncton High. It looks like it will be credited to Will Nealis. Morgan Groundwater with the assist. That's 2 points on the night for her. Purple Knights to the zone. Ty Warner working in. Cutting to the net, Drover the backhander, missed the net, but not by much. Drover again out in front, the one-timer. Gillis was waiting right there. That one going on net of Wishart. So the Knights, they look to respond quickly after giving up the first goal of the period. LeBlanc around the net, taken by Legier. Legier through the zone, kicked up by Hinckley. Hinckley through the zone. Murray chasing on it with Cummings. Cummings and Murray now in the corner. Bro waiting in the far hash mark, going down low, right out in front of the high slot. Cummings couldn't quite get to that one. Brandon Warner tossed up, glove down in the middle by Bro, as there's a one-touch pass and now dumped in. And looks like there's a touch up there from the Trojans. And they might be getting a call here. And Rowan Cummings to the box. So Moncton High will head to the power play. So a 2-minute power play now for Moncton High. We'll see what the exact call is. Maybe an unsportsmanlike conduct, as LeBlanc's able to hold this one at the line. It's Betts one-on-one on defense. Betts working in, and it's Harris to turn him away. So it is Cummings for unsportsmanlike at 15:36. It's Legier back for Harrison Trimble. Shot all the way down the ice now. Betts will find it in the corner. Drew Betts waiting, looking, trying to go up high. And that one taken by McFadden. Again, he'll rotate it back to Legier. A great penalty kill so far for Harrison Trimble. That one will smack off the glass. Ty Warner back to recover for it. Warner up there for Daigle. Daigle skating up. He's rubbed hard along the boards by LeBlanc. LeBlanc trying to clear. This one's a bouncing puck. Barely held in. And there's McFadden to get this one out after the poke check from Harris. McFadden steps in, waits, and shoots. And that one blocked by Warner. Another try at the side of the net. And 2 good saves from Elias Sock. So Elias Sock under some pressure, able to keep it out shorthanded. Well, there's the face-off. The Knights trying to bring this one out through center. Skating it in, Easton Woods waiting on his backhand in the corner. Stops, goes up to the point, waiting. There's a shot from long. Wishart the save, and he has to quickly sweep that in the corner as that one stayed afloat in the blue paint for a solid second. Drover working back for it. Drover working behind the net. Now it's Shudiak. They both go stumbling to a knee. It's taken up there by Woods. Woods on the blue line, turning, being watched by Clark. Woods still with Clark in the corner, and Clark will pin him up as that one will end the power play now for the Purple Knights. So that power play, not the exact power play they were looking for. They look for a last-second push here. Trojans keep it in the zone. There's the shot, and there's the save from Sock. So still an 8-3 hockey game in favor of the Harrison Trimble Trojans. Offensive zone draw for Harrison Trimble. It's going to the right of Elias Sock. after a bit of a delay, we get it dropped here. At the line, Sagadyev going down low. Hash marks, Betts spinning. There's another Purple Knight that falls. Betts walks in, the shot, he scores. And the Trojans, they go back up by 6. As Drew Betts will complete his hat trick here on home ice. Now make it 9-3 in favor of the home team in this one. Webb trying to bring it into the zone. He was taken away there by Sagadyev. Betts in the corner, flipped up in the neutral zone. Beal trying to get a kick on it. It's back for Harris. Harris stepping in, put to the net, glove down by Wishart. In the hash marks, it's Maltis now going down to the corner. Webb, Maltis again, waiting, gets his stick lifted, down deep into the zone. Carried out, Beal was chasing after. Harris unable to keep that one at the line, poked down, Murray turning against the boards. Here's Beal in the zone. Alex Beal, back for Murray, up for Harris. Harris working his way up, he'll fire that one. It's off the blocker of Wishart and over the netting here at the K. And not too often you see that one going over the netting. And will fall down behind the net. In the corner, LeBlanc throwing this one around. In the corner, taken up by Martin. Martin working his way in, poked on McFadden, almost there, but it's flipped high in the center. The Trojans defense will regroup. Less than 12 to go. And what has been a pretty lopsided game. The Trojans have come out in the third period, putting their foot on the gas. There's Martin the shot, and that one just missed, not by much. Legier the shot to the side of the net. Caught in by LeBlanc at the blue line. He has a shot. That one blocked before he could get to the net. This one in the high slot. Now it's backhanded out by Daigle. And this one will just have enough, I believe. And they will call it icing against Moncton High. So they're unable to change. They got some tired bodies on the ice. Offensive zone for Harrison Trimble. There's a quick shot from the blue line and a nice save by Sock. Right after the draw. McEachran will flip this one into the zone. Behind the net, there's a huge collision. I believe that was Bro that got a hold of a Knight. There's a Legier, the shot from the blue line. Another big hit right against the near boards. LeBlanc going along behind the net. Taken by Ty Warner, losing the puck. McEachran side of the net will now force its way into the corner. Behind the cage, McEachran backhanded, trying to go to the line. LeBlanc defends Brandon Warner successfully there. Legier, the pass through center. It got gathered back to his stick and poked free into some open ice. It was taken by Clark. and forced up. Avery going back to his defense. Ty Warner waiting. Almost losing the puck there for a minute. We'll throw it against the boards. Taken by Carson LeBlanc, Harrison Trimble, and cleared in. Ty Warner gathering behind the net, trying a stretch pass over for Curvin. That was redirected off the tape of John Clark. Behind the net, Ty Warner. Waiting, trying to go against the boards. It's now up near boards in the neutral zone. Gathered back by the Trimble defense. Legier across to the opposite wing. It's Harris that'll take it in, but just barely had to slow up. In the threat of offside, Clark skating up for it. He's against Murphy. Clark out in front. And that one tipped off. A shin pad out in front. Clark again put to the net. Backhander. Another good try. And an odd man rush. Almost broken up. And we're going to have a penalty against Moncton High, I do believe. And it's head contact. We'll have to see if it's a 2 or a 4. Still no one going to the box. Or is this against Harrison Trimble? One linesman in the Trimble zone. One linesman at the Moncton High penalty box. And it's Owen Murphy that steps in. And as time kept ticking down at the K, I don't believe anyone noticed the clock still moving. It stops at 8:29. There's definitely more time than that. We silently lost about a minute of playtime here at the K. Unless we have some straight time, his clock keeps ticking. Here at the K Arena at the blue line, Sagadyev waiting at the blue line again. Off for Betts. Betts going down to the face-off circle. Out in front, the shot, they score. So the Trojans capitalize on the power play. And that makes it a touchdown and a field goal for the Trojans. Brendan Murray back in his zone, up for Brandon Warner to the middle. There's a nice play by Ethan Curvin to get around Whalen, but couldn't quite keep the puck with him. Knights back up into the zone. Curvin stepping in. Poke check by 2 Trojans. So that was Braden Dangle, excuse me, back from his injury earlier. Sagadyev up for the Trojans, works his way in. There's the shot, and that one's turned away by Elias Sock. Walking up and clearing it in there is Curvin. It bounces and comes to rest to the side of the net of Wishart. Sagadyev, the backhander. This one almost kept in by Webb, and he couldn't quite get a stick on it. Woods back with it, trying to go through center. That one taken away and picked off. Hinckley stepping in. There's the shot, and he just missed the net. Again, he didn't miss the net by much, as the Knights now come back the other way. Skating back with it behind the net now is Legier. Across the boards, that one took a weird hop. Hinckley did not expect it to bounce off like that, and Curvin into the zone offside. As we now have gone down to less than 6 minutes as the clock continues to roll. Straight time. Face off just outside the Trimble zone, won by the Knights and cleared in by Ty Warner. Finding it at the hash marks, it's LeBlanc hitting Webb. Manderson out in front of the high slot, the one-timer. Ty Warner knocked the stick out of the hands of McFadden. Puck just went wide. Manderson finding this one in front. He gets his pocket picked by Beeman as he now skates the other way. Isaac Beeman leading the rush, working his way in. Beeman to the backhander right out in front. That one taken away by a Knights defenseman. Gathered back in. McFadden makes a nice move to get around LeBlanc. McFadden in the shot. And that one saved and deflected up high and into the netting by Sauk. And while we have a moment, we'd like to invite everyone watching to come back tomorrow night. Very same time, very same arena. But we got a different team coming into town. The Sonics from Sussex will travel an hour up north, and there's a huge hit. And that's going to be a penalty against Moncton High. And it's Harris that heads to the box. So as I was saying, the Sonics from Sussex, they're going to take a trip up north to come to the K Arena to play some Sunday night hockey. And it'll be back on Moncton High Sports. We hope you join us for that, as the Trojans were supposed to have a 2-minute power play. They only got about 1:45 due to the straight time. Shot from the blue line, they score. And that one had gone in through traffic. Looked to have been redirected somewhere out in front. And they're grabbing a puck. And we got a special milestone goal, making it 11-3. And it looks like it was deflected by, it could have been Nealis in front. We'll see who they credit the goal to. And the penalty was to Campbell Harris for cross-checking. Now 11-3 in favor of Harrison Trimble. And it is Will Nealis that scores that one. Curvin stepping in behind the net. He's hit hard. It's taken away by the Trimble defense. And that'll be Nealis' second goal of the game, 3rd point. Woods to the middle. Curvin skating up. Now cutting to the middle. Ethan Curvin waits. Does a windmill deep before pulling the trigger. There's Maltis that gets hit in the corner. And the ref goes down. The ref trips up Ethan Curvin as he falls to the ground. And that gets a reaction from the Harrison Trimble bench. Ethan Curvin on his knees. Dion and Maltis in there as well. It's put to the line. Ty Warner, nice move to get around Hinckley. Here's the backhander of the net. Shot by the blocker of Wishart. There's another try put to the net by Curvin, and that's a save made with ease. So it goes up top to the blue line, flipped into the Moncton High bench. Cummings launching a projectile almost right onto the heads of the Moncton High coaches. Face off in the Moncton High offensive zone. Moved across. That one in between the feet of Webb. He has Moncton High's first goal of the game and his 3rd of the season. Harris at the line. Sent into the corner. Legier along the wall. McFadden. McFadden to the middle. Less than 1.5 remaining in this hockey game. It's found loose at center. Working around. Legier gets it stolen. Manderson stepping in. Manderson, the shot, he lifts it over the net and into the netting. And I believe that had been Parker LeBlanc waiting for a one-timer pass. And the clock now ticks below 1. Manderson to the bench. Another draw won by Harrison Trimble. Brandon Warner with the hit. Daigle with the saucer pass. The one-timer off the side of the net by LeBlanc, and he's hit. And taken down. Here's Hinckley stepping up for Harrison Trimble. Working it on Harris. He's shoved to the side. Harris taking it behind the net, less than 20. Harris, little windmill deke, shoved by Cummings. Behind the net. Still with it. They try to gather this one out. It's recovered by Harrison Trimble. Here's second div of the line, and that one just slips under his stick. Outside the zone he'll go. He'll retreat all the way back to his end, shoot it at the boards, and that's where the buzzer hit 0 to win this game at a final score of Harrison Trimble 11, Moncton High 3. We thank you and appreciate everyone for sticking around tonight. Braden Lane from the K Arena. We hope to see you back tomorrow. Purple Knights, Sonics, Moncton High Sports, 8:15 start time here on YouTube.